Hey guys, it's Selene here. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to find us. It took me forever to get online today. I have a full house coming tonight. It is Stamp Club week. I bring in 30 people from our local stampers. During the pandemic, we went from 48 to about 30, and I don't usually advertise or talk about it because we're not expanding. When it goes, it goes, but I would like to eventually offer it both in person and online. So, it's hard to do that like out of the gate because when you have 30 people that you take care of. Hey, Gina. Oh, it's good to see you. It's good to see Jill. Hi, Linda. Oh, it's good to see everybody. Okay, so I'm glad you're all here. So tonight marks the first night at club. It runs for 2 consecutive nights, and I don't have enough room in my studio to bring 30 people in all at once. So they come through in batches, and they have, 8 time slots. So tonight it's 6, 7, and 8. Tomorrow night it's 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we finish up Thursday morning with an early bird at 9 a.m. And these are the projects they're making. I know it's backwards, and upside down. We'll show them. We'll flip the camera and we'll get moving. And I can't stay for too long today because I have a house full of people coming very shortly, and I haven't shoved everything in the closet yet. No, I'm just kidding. I do have to finish picking up a little bit though. And I have to, they've already placed their club orders and they are sitting snugly in the corner, and I haven't put their orders in the bags. The projects are done though, so that's good. So anyway, without further ado, let's flip the camera and have some fun. Let's see. Sorry, I should cover the camera when I do that. I don't want to make anybody dizzy. Raw. Let's see what we look like when we come off. Let's see. Voila. I'll go a little further to the edge here. Yay. Okay. I think that's good. Yep, we're good. Okay. Yay. So welcome everybody. So this week I realized I haven't given any attention to this stamp set called Stylish Sketches, and man, I am digging it. I love the fox. I love the ducks. Alexis was very intrigued with feeding the ducks when she was little, and it's just something that's part of our family. It's just who we are. Like, we love ducks. And then this one, I didn't know what this was. When I originally looked at the image, I thought, well, what is it? Is it garlic? Is it, what is it? And I did a little research and found out that it's a fig. And you know what? I love figs. So I decided to play with this week. I paired it up with the Wildlife Wonder stamp set. And, I'm not seeing your comments. Hang on one second. Wildlife Wonder, I would think is a guy set, right? If to a great guy, sending birthday wishes. It has very masculine imagery. But the reason I purchased this set was because of this. This is what I look like when someone messes with my kid. Mama bear. So there's that. But I really like all of the images in here, like this little flower. And for all the great things you do, a note of thanks. You mean so much to me. They're just great fonts. And I like how it's like a straight font and then a scripty font and then a straight font. These kinds of words make me happy. So I paired this up that didn't have any words. And they do sort of go together, I think. Anyway. Hey, Joan. Thanks for sharing. That's really cool. All right, so what do you want to do? Do you want to make these, or do you want to make something new on the fly? I was playing earlier. I saw that we had a sketch challenge, and of course, I already lost it, which is hysterical. Casing Tuesday has a sketch challenge. Let me see if I can just pull it up on my computer here. Nope. It's not letting me pull it up either. Hang on. It's going slow as molasses. Casing Tuesday. Maybe we'll just make these then. They're awful cool. Here. So these are what the packets look like for club this week. Boy, I wonder what I did with that. It's gonna drive me bonkers. I have this idea for a card in my head, but I'd like to see the sketch that I. So if you're on Facebook and you have a new window open, you can look up Casing Tuesday. Oh, yep, I've got the sketch now. All right, so why don't we jump in that way, and I'll show you what's rolling around in my head. I love this embossing folder, and I thought that it would sort of match the figs kind of nice. So that's the first place I was going. And I thought, well, what color would go good with the blackberry? Because the blackberry and the fig really sort of match together. So here, let me get that out of the way. Pull in a trimmer. So Gina is my card making buddy, and she comes to karaoke with me all the time. And if Gina was going to make a card, I would tell Gina that the way you start is you take a regular piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and not all cardstock's the same. I love the Stampin' Up! Cardstock. And I would score it in half and then cut it in half. So I'm going to score this in half at 5.5, which is half of 11. And then I'm going to cut it in half at 4.25. So the other way. So it's 8.5. So 4.25 is the halfway mark. And that will make 2 card bases. And I'm going the long way for some reason. That's silly. I should have went the other way. But you can also score it 4.25 and cut it 5.5. It makes just the card opens different. It opens like this way. But anyway, we'll go the long way today. No closed caption. Hey, Ann, I don't know what is going on with that, but I have been trying for months to work out closed caption. And on my YouTube channel, I do have it. So I'm going to upload right after YouTube, and I'll leave you a comment so that you can see. I'm sorry about that. We just don't have it available. I've been trying to work with Facebook and all my friends and figure out what's going on with that. But anyway, this paper was cut to 2 by 5 on the sketch that I'm looking at. And also, Anne, I will try and add it to I'll try to add closed captioning when I get off. It's so strange that they don't allow me to do it out of the gate, but I've been trying. Let's see. I'm going to bring in my embossing machine, and hopefully the view on that's okay. And this is Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And I'm going to roll it through my cutting machine. Now, I didn't check to see if this was a 3D before. It's a 3D. Hang on. So I need another plate. For a 3D folder, you need plate number 4. So I'm going to show you plate number 4. And then you can get rid of both cutting pads. So this must be a 3D embossing folder. And then you get rid of both cutting pads and just use plate 4. Oh, thank you, Jill, for answering, Anne. I appreciate that. And I'll put it up on YouTube as soon as I can. I even try when I get off the live here to add the closed captioning, and I really have been struggling with that for months. So if you guys have a solution for me, please let me know. You're supposed to be able to add it as soon as you get off your live, but that seems silly to me too. Anyway, I click edit every time and try to add it. It only will give me a caption if I'm in my groups. So, and I do a workshop once a month inside that group, the workshop group. So, all right. So this next layer, I'm going by the Casing Tuesday sketch this week. It was 4. by 2.5. And I'm almost there. We're gonna get stamping here in a minute. So what has me intrigued is that fig image, right? Oh, did I cut white, huh? I think I would rather it be on vanilla for the fig. So I'm just gonna grab a piece. I was stuffing packets earlier and there was a mark on this one. Talk about driving me crazy. So we'll cut this one down 2.5, and I'll cut that, whatever it is, off. But I pulled it out of their packet and grabbed a new piece of paper and cut from that. So again, we're going 4 by 2.5. Hopefully you're seeing that. Okay. Then I can use the paper trimmer for a minute. And let's get stamping. So I'm bringing in that fig, and you can tell I've been using this like crazy because I've been making cards with it. And this is Blackberry Bliss, ready for Anne. And there's 2 sides to the marker. There's a skinny line and a thick line, and the thick line is the one that you want to use to ink up your markers. Ink up your stamps. Now, if you were going to do this on a photopolymer material stamp, I would recommend inking up and then inking up again. But since we are using red rubber, it doesn't require the second ink up. Photopolymer doesn't accept the ink from the stamp ink from the marker as easily as the red rubber does. Just a different material. And so I only have to do it once per stamp on this. But I'm going to stamp this a couple of times. I want to make my own background paper with this fig. So here's my soft suede. And that was Mossy Meadows. So here, let me see if I can give you the shot of it so you can see them. And then I'll give it a huff. And we're going to stamp like a background with this. So then I have to go again. So it's going to take me a couple minutes. But I've had this card rolling around in my head all day while I was prepping this class for tonight. And it won't take me too long. So you notice when I ink up my stamps using a marker that I have my marker on its side. These are the classic markers. So they're the same ink that's in an ink pad. You can watercolor with them really nice. And of course, Wink of watercolor, really nice. And I'll show that in a second. But I want to get a couple of images on here. So now I'm going to go bottoms up for more fig. It's like the Garden of Eden right here. So pretty. I think I want like a little bit there. Now, if I huff, I can get a lighter version of the stamp. And I'll show you that in a second, but for this one, I really do want the full Monty. So I'm gonna take my time and actually ink these up and go for it. And it doesn't take too long because I got the side of the marker here, and you can swipe across and go fast. There's no, it goes really fast on a red rubber. And I am huffing on the stamp to re-moisten the ink. Let's see what I get. See how lighter it is? And you actually have like 2 or 3 times that you can pull that off, but I'm gonna go this way when I finish it. Okay, so now that I got my Wink of Stella. Oh, God bless you guys. Thank you for taking care of each other. You know what? That's what crafters do. I was just saying that to somebody yesterday, like my team, we all take care of each other. I appreciate you guys so much. So that'll bring it back to life a little bit. But I scribbled off on my paper in between colors, and now I am taking the Wink of Stella and I am just moving that color. I feel like I want to put something. So there's a strip that goes here. But now that I stamped it and I don't love that, I feel like I want to put a different thing, a different sentiment over it. But let's see how I can make a go of it. It is kind of cool, actually. It's not bad at all. And that's a ghost of it, too. Gorgeous. Okay. So now I've got this. And I need some adhesive here. Wow. Ah, of course I'm out. That's what happens when you run out. You get to the end, it's the red. So it's not broken, it's just done. Always when you're live, timing is everything. That's okay, we'll use the liquid glue and I'll pull that little glue booger out that happens with the liquid glue. And when I add glue, actually this came up at my team meeting. Someone was asking about the liquid glue and how there was a demonstrator that said you should never go whoosh across the inside of your card. And you know, whoever the demonstrator was right, I kind of don't do the same. I use the dot method when I'm adding anything with liquid glue onto my cards because in the past, I have found that when I have something that's very vanilla or white, basic white, that if I do the swoosh across the middle, it actually shows up in a couple of days, and you can see the when it dries down that the glue pulls on the white paper. So it wouldn't matter so much on this embossed layer that's going to take a minute to dry, which is a benefit of using liquid glue. That's pretty. I love it. I do wish that that was darker though. You know what? Let's see if we can. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and stamp right on top without a stamp apparatus. It'll probably be a little mushy, but whatever. Always when you're live. Yes, thank you, Trisha. Exactly. Well, if everything was smooth as pie, you'd have to wonder if it was really live. At least you know here, I was legit working until the second I went live, and I've been brewing this card in my head all day, but it is truly an on-the-fly presentation, which is what we are used to on Tuesdays because it's just my busy day. But I like that I get to take a break with you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to legit put my nose equal with the table and say a little prayer. What do you think? Think I can hit it? I'm going to slow my roll and just commit. Wow. Don't ask me to do that again live. Oh my gosh, that looks pretty darn cool. Looks way better. It just needed but now that the corner looks messy, so let's fix that. Wow, that's pretty cool. Don't do this at home, kids. Well, you know, it's only paper, so I guess I could make another one, but where I'm live, I don't want to make you sit through me inking up two more times because I was lazy and didn't do it the last time, you know. All right, let's try it again. Not too shabby. I'll take it. Thank you, Stamping Gods. Wow, that was cool. Right? Again, while I'm live. I love it. And I think now I'm going to put this side back down there because I like the way it came out enough that it can stay as the focal point. Yay. All right, so when I use liquid glue, I definitely use the dot method so that it doesn't get that big swoosh on it when it dries down. And then I need a sentiment. So I have this one on the table and it's in the wrong color. So let me just grab a cleaner. And look, while I'm over there, I found a scrap. Oh, it's the wrong color. Well, you know what? We'll continue to use the scrap that had something on it. And we'll clean our stamp. So this is the scrub and the mist. And there's a wet and a dry side. I just did 2 squirts on that side. This would actually clean a whole stamp set. And if you have foam, you've used too much. So it should be just wet enough, but I can clean all day. I've got the fox and ducks and all of these sentiments that I can clean up before everybody gets here. And like I said, I did 2 squirts, and here you go. I got the whole stamp set all clean. There's my fox. And you can see it. I mean, it does a pretty good job. Okay. So, I forget what this says, but it would be good if I knew, huh? Let's see. I'll look at my cards and then I'll know. Oh, it's the duck one. You mean so much to me. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to do the so in green, and the you in green, and the to me in green. And then I'm going to do the accent color, the accent words in the cool color, the Blackberry Bliss. And I'll give it a huff and stamp again. Actually, here. Now, I would normally pull out the trimmer, but I think, even though it's impossible for the human hand to cut a straight line, that I can do a so-so job here. So let's just go for it. Sometimes you don't need to pull out all the fancy tools. And then I'm going to trim it like this, bottoms up, and then the same thing on the other side to give it a little bit of accent. The other thing I like to do with markers sometimes is because this is going to set a little bit on white, so it kind of just blends in. So I want to put another layer, but I don't want to cut another layer. So oh, thanks for all the love, guys. I'm going to hold my marker so that it's face up. If I hold it face down, chances are I'm going to write on my project. But if I hold it face up and I bring the paper to it, and even if I mess up at this point, I'm going to write on the back. So I hold it face up and I bring the paper to it, and I can add another layer of ink, like another layer of color, without having to cut more paper. See how it's got the line? Now this line seems darker than that side, so I'll just go back and make sure that it's all set. And boom. Perhaps, I mean, I like it flat, but I think, oh, it's so pretty. I'm looking at my blends to see if I have any Blackberry Bliss, and I don't think I do. Can you believe, I don't know, if maybe they don't carry it, because I would think I would have it if they had it. It needs a little something to me. So what do we do? Definitely needs a ribbon or some sort. And do I have Blackberry blends? Well, I have Blackberry Bliss. Look at that, baby. And then I'm just grabbing my ribbon bin. I think we need something white that we can color. Or there's that, I've been using this actually all week, and it is off-white. So you guys tell me, should we go with the vanilla and the silver? Or should we go with the white and then I'll color it with Blackberry Bliss? I'm going to color either way, but you tell me what you prefer. Do you want some sparkle on the ribbon? Or do you want, and while you guys are voting, I'll color that ribbon because it won't take long to dry and it'll be ready either way. This one is kind of nice because it matches the paper already. But this one can be colored. I guess they both could be colored. So let's and all I'm doing is taking my Blackberry Bliss Stampin'. So this is a different kind of marker. This is the blends marker. and they're alcohol based, so they dry very quickly, and you can color any kind of non-porous surface, ribbons, and they dry fairly quickly. You can color on tile with them. So it's a different medium than the water-based, which you can move with Wink of Stella. Wicked cool. All right, so just so you see, sparkle please. Cheryl, I love you. Yeah, I didn't have any use for this set either, but you know what? It's funny because when you put ink on it, it does all the work. So that's the interesting thing about this stamp set. Like, it's just so beautiful on its own. You could stamp those ducks on a note card and stamp a sentiment, and you'd have a clean and simple card that wouldn't take you but 5 minutes to put together, and it's so well done, you know. All right, so we got sparkle. My picture is a little blurry, huh? All right, well, hang on a minute. See if that helps. Get the focus. Any better, Robin? All right, hopefully that did a good job. Okay, so put them together. That's an interesting concept. Let's try that. So I definitely think I prefer this one with the color on it. Like, you know what I mean, if I were gonna color one. Together, they are awfully pretty. All right. I feel like I want to grab the bow maker for this. It just makes it easier to keep them on top of each other. I could glue them down, but I don't like to put adhesive on ribbon, on a section of ribbon that I'm gonna see with my eye. So I know that this will be sideways for you, but I'm gonna take this and go around and make a quick bow using my bow maker, and I'm gonna try and keep the pieces that are colored on the outside. So now you guys can vote again and tell me if we should keep the double bow or if it's too much and you want to go with just the sparkle. Let's go. So I'm pulling up to make sure that I have a nice section of this, and we'll give it a little trim. I did go backwards there, here. But again, I didn't want to stick it together because I like it kind of with its own personality, right? So here we go. I don't think that the ribbon is blackberry enough for me. Like see it against the paper, it's like totally not the same color. Even though this is the dark blackberry Bliss Blends, maybe I should have gone over it twice. It's just not as dark as the cardstock, and that bugs me. So let's tie another one off, just plain. Maybe higher. Okay. I don't like that it's not it's not as dark as the paper. It's totally a different color. And it is about coordination for me. I'm not gonna lie. That's the reason I ended up working for Stampin' Up. I fell in love with the product and the coordination of it. Or maybe maybe it's part of it. What do you think of that? Because then it's on the other side. Talk to me. So just the sparkle ribbon? How about just loops? So, I got you. So, like, where would it adhere? Would it adhere under this layer? Because I already put it down. Just loops. I think if I made this shorter. Well, I don't mind the length. I'm waiting for you. So you're right though, Robin. It's got to be higher. And I'm, of course, trying to get it like the sketch. So why don't we go with that? I know it's not the exact blackberry, but I'm getting over it as we speak. It's close. We'll call it a duo. It's close. My silly art brain. It doesn't match exactly. I have them here in the studio, and I can add them on to any class, so that's no big deal. Just send me a private message after the live if you want one, no sweat. And if you just want to buy the bow maker, then I have a friend that sells them, and I can refer you. All right. So that's it for today, just because I have a lot going on. We got club coming tonight. This is the same stamp set, and I used the ducks. And this is the same stamp set, and that's just the fig. Although I love the fig as a background, and it is worth it to take your time and make it like a background. And then this is the fox, and I've seen him all over the internet with Cajun Craze. He could be a silver fox too. Ooh, that would be pretty with that ribbon. Silver fox, like my silver fox. And then I paired it with the Wildlife Wonder for the sentiments, but again, it would be good with any stamp set that has good sentiments. Alrighty. So, thank you so much. And again, Mary Ann, if you send me that message, I may not respond to you today. It might be tomorrow because I have a house full of people coming here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to clean up and get ready for them. But you do mean so much to me. Thanks for joining me today. And every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, no matter what, I just take a break and we go for it and we craft something. So yeah, thank you. Have a great day, guys.